Right.
Yeah, let me sit up. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to Across the Plane, a VR podcast inspiring people to try something new through mixed reality interviews. Today's creative professional, Damien Velas, a filmmaker and photographer, is going to share some insight on how to get started, as well as some tips to improve. So I hope you enjoy our interaction and learn something new. So, without further ado, let me have my guest introduce himself. Hey, guest. I
Great
know who
evening,
you
great
are.
evening. Thank you for having me, my brother. I appreciate you. Always an
Hey,
honor and a privilege to work with you, to speak with you, to be a part of anything you're a part of. Thank you for having me.
uh, hey, not a problem. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So, I gave you the little rundown of the reason for this podcast, right? You know, we definitely want to inspire our viewers to try something new and learn from your experiences. So, let's start it off with, you know, giving our viewers, a little bit about you and how long you've been doing photography and videography.
So, I've been obsessed with capturing moments my entire life. I mean, my mom always took a lot of pictures and us having pictures all over the house in New York City, which was a little apartment and you could barely see the walls because it was just pictures everywhere. So I
Yeah.
was born into the purpose of capturing these moments thanks to my mom. So I actually filmed my first wedding. I was 11 years old with a huge camcorder. I think the camcorder was bigger than me.
Right.
So about 30 years now I've been involved with photo and video, but a little
Wow.
over a decade professionally here in Miami.
Mm.
Photo, video, editing, directing, uh, a little bit of everything. It's it's
Awesome.
it's a lot of weddings, a lot of events,
Cool.
portrait
Cool.
sessions, anything that involves great people capturing great moments. I'm not
Awesome.
limited to any specific genre.
Nice. Nice. So, I mean, my next question is going to ask you, what made you decide to become, filmmaker, photographer? But just listening to your answer, it almost self-explanatory, right? It's like
No,
you're just kind of in it.
yeah, sometimes we get lucky and we find our purpose by accident,
Yeah.
and have the role models and the village that leads us along the way, and we get lucky, and I'm super lucky and blessed to have found this great passion and art form early on in my life, which has given me a head start on getting to the level that I've gotten to, which I still have a long way to go, but I've come a long way.
Awesome. Awesome. So, in your experience, right, what are some key skills and qualities that are essential for someone who's interested in getting in this field?
I think once a creator really realizes that it's something that they love, the next step is understanding the tools that they're going to need, which
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always mean a lot of money because you could get a lot done with very little if you know how to use your equipment. So, tools and your circle, because
Mm.
when you surround yourself with excellent human beings, they can shorten your learning curve tremendously. But at the same time, we have to be open minded to ask for help, and reach out.
Understood.
And some folks are going
Understood.
to be receptive, some folks are not, but there's a lot of great
Yeah.
people out there.
Okay. So, what tools do you commonly use? Software and what hardware, do you use?
For photo, I use a Canon R6, 70 to 200, 50 millimeter, 35/16, uh, mostly prime. Uh, for video, I use a FX3, 70 to 200, 24 millimeter, 24 to 70, G Master lenses,
Mm.
uh,
Okay.
different variations of lights and ND filters, Maverick 3 Classic, DJI Mini 4,
Yeah.
uh,
So
Final
you're
Cut. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
so
all
you're
over the
you're
place.
you're
I'm a
part
pilot too. I'm
octopus.
a pilot. Thanks
Yeah,
to
you're
you.
pilot.
Thanks to you,
Oh,
actually. Thanks to you.
yeah. Oh man, awesome, man. I'm glad I could inspire you, man. Listen,
Absolutely, sir.
I'm all
Absolutely.
for
Since
giving and helping.
2013,
Yeah.
you've been inspiring me since 2013 on the Angelo
Wow.
Loomis shoot in North Miami. God bless
Wow.
both of you. I remember
Man.
it like it was yesterday. You the man, bro.
Wow. Oh man, that's a while ago. That's a while ago. Yeah, don't be giving out my age. They don't know how old I am, right? So, oh man. So, um, could you share a challenging experience or an obstacle that you faced, right? And how you overcame it, right? Because there's all kinds of issues, things that we run into, and and again, I'm looking to provide my viewers with some insight from someone in the field, right, such as yourself, to provide your experiences that they can learn from, right? Without having
Oh,
to trip, you know?
well, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I wish I would have made them sooner,
Mm-hmm.
so I could have learned sooner. And it's a lot of trial and error. I'm appreciative and grateful and lucky to have excellent mentors and colleagues like yourself, like Rob Lowe,
Okay.
like Jose Guerra in New York, like Angelo Loomis.
Mm.
Uh, a lot of great guys that understand lighting, understand editing, angles, energy. Uh, Obviously, step number one is understanding your camera inside and out,
Mm-hmm.
and then understanding lighting inside and out.
Yeah.
And that's the platform, but you still need practice.
Right.
Obviously, your
Yeah,
circle is going to
understandable.
critique
Right.
you. I mean, there's a lot of angles, but
Right. 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 But what
really
was
staying,
yeah, what was
yeah.
in it like maybe a specific scenario or instance where it was it was a challenge, right? And you had to overcome it. Like you had to figure it out. You know what?
Well,
I
my
Yeah.
two most recent challenges that were very difficult to overcome, because it was just an area I wasn't comfortable with, was color grading and audio.
Mm,
Uh, I really had a tough time understanding how to work with different events and manage the final result with coloring. So that those were my two biggest challenges, and I really had to just
mm,
reach out to my peers and
mm.
hold myself accountable for evolving in those two areas. And
Okay.
finally, in 24, I figured it out. And honestly, it was more obviously just like it's always us. It's really not the challenge. The challenge is us.
Uh, yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
The
We definitely
Now
hold
looking back,
ourselves
I'm
back.
like, dude, like, come on, man.
You could have figured this out, right?
No, you gave me the solution a million times. It just
Yeah.
sometimes certain issues just don't click. I don't know why. It was
Mm,
just such a
yeah.
weird challenge, and it's. I think as you get older and you get more seasoned, your style evolves, and you just see things differently. So
Right.
it took me a while to really get there, but I'm glad
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Awesome. 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 That's good. It's good. So we're talking about the village and collaborating, right? Especially in a creative field, right? Is pretty important. So, how do you maintain effective working relationships with your team and other professionals? Do you how do you maintain those relationships?
I mean, respect is earned.
Hmm.
I think when we focus on being dope in real life, respecting the craft, respecting each other, and doing the work, I think that anyone at the top of their game is going to acknowledge and respect that. I mean, no one's a
Yeah.
threat. There's enough business for everyone. At
Yeah.
the top, it's just collaborating. It's not competing. And when
Right.
we
Right.
learn that and we understand that, beautiful things
Yeah.
happen.
Right.
Just
Right.
just
Understood.
just being a great human will really go a long way.
I I agree. I agree. I agree. So now I like to provide, some steps, right, or some actionable things. So if you could go back in time, right, and give yourself three actionable steps to take when starting, your career, right, what would they be and why, right? That's something that they can they can take and learn from.
So I think right off the bat, purchase the best possible equipment you can, because if you buy last year's model is 4 years old.
Hmm.
So if you're really going to go into the industry, I would say buy the most recent release of that equipment so
Hmm.
that you maximize the cycle of that equipment. That would be my first suggestion, is to do
Yeah.
your due diligence on equipment and
Yeah.
the investment that it
Well,
requires.
yeah, you specifically, right? You talking to little Damien, right? You
Yeah,
already know
listen, I
you
bought a
know that you know
camera.
these specific. You can be like, hey man, you buy this
I bought a
FX3,
listen,
buy, you know what I'm
I think
saying?
in 2015, no, I
Yeah,
think it was 2015 or
yeah,
2016. I bought a 5DS, Canon
mm-hmm,
5DS. It was like a 52 megapixel. It was like a big deal. I think it
mm-hmm,
was like
mm-hmm,
almost $4,000 camera. The truth is, I could have got away with a 5D Mark nothing, and it would have been
yeah,
just as good, if not better.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And sometimes you see all these specs and you think it's better and more money is better, but it really isn't.
yeah,
Every style of photography and has its own characteristics. So I
yeah,
think I was
yeah,
better off buying lenses, buying
yeah,
glass than buying bodies. The bodies really,
right,
not that it doesn't matter, but the glass was more important than the body. So really
okay,
understanding the purchase, I would have did more research, asked more questions, and
okay,
just took a simpler approach.
okay, all right. So, um, when you bought your first camera, right? um, what were kind of the first few things that you did, right? Or you would tell yourself, that your younger self who has no knowledge, zero, right, of photography and videography and cameras and nothing that, right? And it's just little Damien is like, hey, Damien,
Yeah,
give me some knowledge, right?
go to
What it's
go to every high school
what would you
game
tell him?
inside and out, and
Yeah,
just shoot and
okay,
practice.
bad,
Just
okay,
shoot before you commit to taking a picture for anyone, before you really
okay,
jump out the big leagues, because you have a fancy camera, which means nothing because you got the best camera in the world. If you don't
that's
know how to
right.
use it
Yep,
in real life circumstances, with clouds, with sun,
right,
with all types of different variables, who cares? So go practice. Go to a
yeah,
park and don't, take go to a baseball game. Just practice
okay,
as much as
and
you can.
just
Just
go
shoot
out and
something. Shoot whatever you want.
cool.
Shoot trees. I don't care. Shoot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. So all right. So first thing, right? Buying some equipment, right? Second thing, you're going to sports games, right? Or going to the park, um, right? Just shooting some things, um, and what else? What else would you
My,
tell your younger you to
do
do?
more I would do more shadowing.
More
I would have
shadowing.
reached
Okay.
out to luckily I was able to learn from you, learn from
Mm.
Rob, learn from Jose, learn from Angelo, and I brought a great foundation to the game, but I still had a lot to learn. And
Mm-hmm.
luckily I met you guys very early on, but I think I would have told my younger self, be more aggressive, shadow
Uh,
more, be a second shooter, be an assistant, because
mm.
it's invaluable. I mean, you learn so much. I mean, you could read a book on it, and then you could go
Right.
see the best do it in real life and see the difference. And
Right.
I think I should have spent more time shadowing and carrying the camera bag and learning along the way, hands on.
Right.
That would have shortened my learning curve.
Right. Understood. Understood. Okay. Um, so how do you handle periods of low motivation, right? Everything can't be sunshine and rainbows, right? When you're kind of in a slump or something, what are some things that you do to get over that?
So that's as a creator, as a creative, that happens often because you're
Very
so
much
critical to your
so.
own work. You're critical to
Yeah,
your work. You're looking at an edit in the morning, you hate it. At night, you loved it.
yeah. Yeah.
Making films, wedding films, event recaps. It's exhausting, and I think I try to always maintain a positive outlook on life. I think that we're very blessed and fortunate
Mm-hmm.
uh, to live in a great country in a time where so much technology is available to us that makes our life so much easier. I mean, editing a gallery 10 years ago was not as easy as it is today. So
All
definitely that
right.
if you really want to put things in perspective, that's something that's incredible. But
Yeah.
I think having an attitude of gratitude really, really keeps us grounded. And whatever we're upset about or drained by, when we put it in perspective, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Life on this
Mm.
side of the grass is amazing.
Yeah.
So I just try to beat that into my own brain, like, hey, dude, get over it.
Mm.
And I sleep it off. And whether I pray about it, laugh about it, cry about it, whatever it is, sleep it off. Tomorrow's a new
Mm-hmm.
day, and keep moving forward because we have a commitment with our clients, we have a
Mm-hmm.
commitment with our craft, and we have a commitment to ourselves to be the best version of us. So
Mm.
that's how I
Okay.
handle it.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, hey, you know what? Listen, I'm hearing a lot of work and clients and all this stuff. I mean, do you take any time for yourself? What do you do? To decompress or to regroup. You know, do you do any of that stuff, or you just
I'm
a robot?
you know I'm struggling with the balance. I don't have a
Mm.
balance. I
Mm.
always have a camera in my hand or a
Mm-hmm.
drone remote in my hand or my phone in my hand.
Mm.
Um, I'm chasing a dream, and I have these
Okay.
commitments with my clients and you know my family, and
Yeah.
I I would say I try to take breaks throughout the day, whether it be a sunrise, whether it be a nice cup of coffee. I take little breaks here and there, but
Okay.
2024 started off intense. We've been booked every single week
Awesome.
of
That's good.
2024, which is a tremendous best blessing. And in the summertime, the business slows down, so I will take some time over the summer
Done.
to
Okay.
slow down. But I've been nonstop pretty much
This
all
year.
season. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is, so and what you're doing, with photography and videography, right? It's well, as it relates to the weddings, right? It's seasonal, right? So you'll have these ebbs and flows where there'll be a lot of activity, and then it'll be, not as much, and you can have a little more downtime, so to speak, right? So, what do you do? You go cave diving and skydiving and
I
hunting
try to
great
go to
white
Dominican.
sharks.
No, I mean this summer, once business slows down, it'll go down significantly. Probably it will slow down at least 60%, 70%, which is fine, which is a good thing. Dominican Republic, I love going there. My dad lives there. Boating, the Keys
Mm,
for sure. Every weekend that the weather is good, I'll be in the Keys going to Alligator Reef.
nice.
Just having a breakfast, a peaceful breakfast, or a good boating day, or hanging out with my friends and doing a
Yeah.
barbecue. That's all I need. I don't need much. I just good energy and good food.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So now you have provided us, and us, it's you guys over there, right? You've provided us with some insight, right, on how to improve, right? And, um, you know, what we would like to do too, right, is we would like to give back. I mean, this is just part of the reason why I'm doing this is I'd like to give back, and I'd like to educate, pass some knowledge. I'd like to know what it is that you would like to improve on, because maybe there's something that you know we can help you, or we can bring a guest that will help you in what it is that you may want to improve on. So, what are some things that you would like to improve on?
So right now, I'm working on a short film. I want to. I'd like to release it. Usually every year on my birthday, I release a recap.
Hmm.
So I want to work on my film documentary style pieces and just getting faster with Final Cut. Editing for me takes a little while. I think it's a little overthinking. Sometimes it's just my shots have gotten better and I'm
Hmm.
shooting to edit and I have to edit in my head when I'm shooting, but it still takes a lot longer than I think it should, or maybe not. I
Mm.
mean, art is
Yeah.
art, but
Yeah.
definitely on my documentary style filming. I want to work on that because weddings, I'm not in control. I'm not directing a wedding. I mean, for the most
Mm.
part, I'm just
Right. Right.
documenting the
Yeah.
day and the event.
Right.
But
Right.
but
Yeah.
documentary style, I want to put together something really great. I'll be 42 next month, and chapter
Mm.
42 is one of my favorite chapters, and I want to tell that
Yeah.
story as organically as possible.
Dope. Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome, man. Well, listen, we talk outside of here, right? and and so I definitely am as as I'd like to try to provide, some knowledge, right? I'd like to pay it forward. I figured,
Thank you.
I'll receive what I give, right? So anyhow, um, I greatly appreciate you coming and sharing your knowledge with my guests,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you for having me.
And one thing I didn't mention, and I'm sorry, the name of your company, right? I don't know why I didn't mention it from the beginning, right? So it's SolomioFilms, and I'm gonna have to put links and such down below, and you guys know the whole thing, right? So I'm gonna have that in there, and I was thinking about maybe putting over here like putting the like your socials and stuff, so that people can see it, the whole time. You know what I mean? I think I'll do
Oh
that.
yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be good.
yeah, because this
Solomio
chart,
Films
yeah, this chart doesn't
has
look too good anyway. So
no, listen, yeah, that's a good idea. You could put it there. I mean, you
yeah,
can put it. I mean, you could have it come up like a news flash on the bottom here.
yeah.
But I'll tell you, if you went on right now, you see a lot of action. I started my day in the Keys, then I
All
went to
right,
South Beach,
all
then I
right.
had a veteran grad
Mm,
photo shoot at Veterans Park. I mean,
okay,
nonstop all day. A couple of Home
nice.
Depot trips, a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. All right. Okay. So anyhow, let me talk to my guests. Right. That's you guys. You guys. Okay. So um, quick recap, right, of what we've learned, right, from Damien of Solomio is you grab your camera, go to a park or some sporting event, and just take some pictures, right? Take some, shoot some video, and learn by doing, right? A majority of this, and I can sense it, right? Of almost anything is creative is learn by doing. But a big thing that he did mention that I definitely would like for you as an aspiring photographer or videographer is to shadow someone, right? And we as creatives, right? We enjoy creating, right? And collaborating. I mean, granted, you're not a turd and going to be annoying and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because then you can just make it difficult. But if you're genuinely interested in learning and doing, a majority of creatives will have no issues having someone who is interested in the field that they're in shadowing them and learning from them, right? And again, Damien, right? He would have less gray hairs, right? And he'd be younger if he would have started earlier.
I believe
But
so. I really believe so.
yeah.
I would
So
have saved myself a bunch of money in grays for sure.
right, right. But hey, listen, this part of what we're doing here. Hey, we trying to help you. We trying to help you guys. So, um, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and you'll return to support by learning, and the YouTube spiel, right? Click like, subscribe, blah, right?
Subscribe. And
Yeah,
if you
all
have
that
any
stuff.
questions, feel free to DM
Yeah,
Solomio Films. I'd be more than happy to pay it forward and
awesome.
spread some knowledge.
Awesome, awesome. So, with that, we are out.